on the podcast. Yo, yo. Hi. Hola.
We're doing it live.
We're live.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
We'll do it live. He got so pissed, like something wasn't ready, and he just went off. And he just goes, "Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live."
And it wasn't directed toward the producer or one person. I thought he's just going off on one person in the clip. You know what? I bet there's more than one crazy O'Reilly clip.
Yeah, but this one's okay. Specifically a good one.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. What do we decide we want to start with? Are we gonna go on the animals?
Where are my levels here?
You're a little low.
But I'm hot.
Your headphones are too much. I was turning them up for you because I thought you were low.
No,
so.
I meant I was.
All right.
Wow, we got to get new hand gestures. I'm apparently you did the exact opposite of what I wanted you to do.
Yes.
Like, how could I be that unclear?
I don't know.
I was like, whoa.
I thought you were just pointing at the volume again because it was too low before. So.
No.
And I always assume it's too low for you. Remember that?
Still, it's really high today.
Oh my
wow.
goodness. Well, let's put you back to where it was to begin with.
Oh
All
no,
right.
that's too low.
Oh my Christ. This sounds like the Bill Burr podcast now, where he's just always freaking out about his equipment.
The Bill Burr.
You should listen to that, by the way, if you haven't. And that goes to everyone listening, too. The Bill Burr Monday Morning Podcast, and he does it on Thursdays, too. It's just him going on little rants. It's hilarious.
Oh, my God. I was listening to The Skeptic's Guide to the Universe today. Do you ever listen to that one?
No, I've never listened to that one.
It's pretty good. It's just like it talks about everything from science to Loch Ness Monster. That's our next segue. Like today, I listened to the one with Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Okay.
He was on. But, man, their production is shit. Like,
Really?
they talk about really fascinating things, and it's not boring at all. But, man, there are a lot of sound issues with that show.
Well, I've heard like Star Talk, too, the Neil deGrasse Tyson one.
Yeah, and these guys are all buddies with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yep, and that's the reason I said that is because they had him on, the science guy or whatever, they had him on. But yeah, they took a phone call, and I had to turn it off.
Were you like, I can't?
It was just like,
I can't listen.
"Hi guys, I'm coming to your house from Philadelphia." Like, I mean, it seriously sounded that bad, and it was like, okay, guys, this is a national podcast. This is like a recognized show. You guys got to have somebody step up and fix your equipment.
It's like almost
Wow.
as close to me Skyping in from Arizona.
Although when we had you, it sounded fine.
Oh, good.
It was just when we dropped out that obviously not so well. All right, so as we tried to segue into Loch Ness Monster a little bit there, I do want to talk about it. This came about because you saw that you can now on Google Maps you can find the Loch Ness Monster. What are you trying to adjust now? That is just the EQ.
I just want control over myself.
It's this. You're number 3 over here.
Oh, I'm all the way over
You're on
there.
this thing. Yeah, that's why it's hard.
Okay.
But the only thing that I found interesting about this is because I just listened to a podcast. Do you remember? Did you ever watch Survivor Man?
No, I haven't.
Or did you ever watch any of those podcasts
Yeah.
or those TV shows on like the Learning Channel or any of that?
I'm not like obsessed with Bear Grylls, but I know the concept of
Okay,
them.
and Survivor Man talks shit about Bear Grylls, like complete shit, because he's got crews following him around. He doesn't actually stay anywhere. And anyway, but Survivor Man, gets dropped in a location, stays there for a week. You literally see him get skinny or just deal with whatever kind of sickness he might. No, he literally loses
dieting
weight.
show.
He loses weight in 4 days because he's not eating any food.
Well,
But
he's not really surviving then, is he? I want to see him kill some stuff.
oh no, he does. No, he finds food. It's not like he just goes a week without food. But I'm saying there's times where it's tough because he's put in. They don't throw him in a place where it's just you walk around and go, oh, I'll eat this off a tree. And
Sure.
No, it's it's tough, and you have to kill something, or you got to. It's all the shit he does is so
Not
crazy that I would never be
rhinos.
able to do. Not rhinos. We're
Not
down to
rhinos,
that one
not
last.
giraffes.
You keep seeing that story, right? About the one last male.
Oh, for sure.
Is it the white rhino?
Well, Ricky Gervais is all up on that now. I mean, that has become his like Twitter passion. Has been
To
tweeting
protect
every
that rhino.
single day, protecting every sort of animal that could be harmed, which I commend him for. I love that he's can be such an ass. I think he's funny, but he can be such an ass. And I think it's cool that this is like his big platform issue,
And I like him too, and I think he can be a real prick
Yeah.
about things he cares about, and especially like his atheism. Like he is a
Sure.
prick about that. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like, I'm not pro shooting anything for trophy.
No.
Period. To me, that is wrong. In any
No,
time.
and don't try and tell me that you sold off the animal parts to the poor African village. You didn't fucking do that.
No, and I'd love
That's
to.
a lie.
but
And they're you
That-
didn't need to do that either.
the African village, they needed the little white girl to
Yes.
come in and
Yes.
save them from that poor
Yes.
giraffe. That pissed me off too. That whole, it's so condescending. It's
So
fucking
much.
gross. But anyway, as we digress, so Survivor Man was on Joe Rogan on a podcast, and Survivor Man's new thing is he's doing a Bigfoot show. And his thing is he doesn't believe it necessarily. He's like, okay, drop me in this area where you think there really might be a Bigfoot, and I'll go do the Survivor Man thing.
Where are the main areas for Bigfoot spotting?
It's North America, like from here to Alaska, basically.
Like
is
Canada,
considered,
Maine.
It's going to be wooded areas between here and in Alaska. That whole stretch of forest land is basically considered to be, if there are such things,
Yeti
Bigfoot
country.
territory.
Oh,
yes,
but Yeti's slightly different. Yeti is like over in Russia, isn't it?
I don't know that.
I don't know
actually.
either. We gotta look up
that
the
could be a
difference.
thing. It could be like hurricane versus what is the typhoon?
Typhoon,
It could just be
yeah.
the same thing but different name. But so it's interesting because they are so skeptical, and Joe Rogan points to any of the evidence of Bigfoot, and yes, it's mostly laughable. It's all laughable, I think, actually. I don't think I've ever seen anything that made me really go, oh, wow, maybe there is a Bigfoot. But I do find all this fascinating, especially anything that lasts for more than a couple hundred years, a myth at least. Like the Loch Ness Monster. I think that that's almost more a tourist thing than anything. That's why that's pushed. But the Bigfoot thing, you're not drawing in any like tourists. People maybe are a little, but I don't think you're really getting a lot of people that are heading out into these remote areas, that, in the woodlands, to vacation and look for Bigfoot. Whereas if you're over where Loch Ness is, in Scotland, you're
That
going to
sounds-
stop by and check out Loch
Sure,
Ness, right? I mean,
sure.
you have to.
Did you know Loch Ness? Okay, and this is coming up on our next topic. Finish your story, and then I'll bring back to this.
Well, I just find it fascinating that these things. I mean, there's scientific evidence of a thing that would have been Bigfoot living like 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
There's this huge mammal that
Yep.
they said would have been like this, and so let's take a little deeper, and then we'll get off of this, but. Are you familiar with the fact that there was like creatures in the Bible that God said had to be destroyed forever? That these were atrocities and they could not be. It's even like if you've seen, obviously you've definitely seen these things, but like in Egyptian hieroglyphs, you'll see like a bird's head on a man's body or a wolf's head on a
Sure.
man's body. Well, there's
gods that are a mixture of
Right.
animal and yep.
and there are people who like to take things in the Bible and make them literal and then
Sure.
make them very fantastical, who they say that maybe these things did exist. Like there were really things that, had human bodies and wolf heads.
Sure.
And then God said, no, we have to destroy all this. And literally they destroyed it so there wouldn't even be evidence. That obviously, right? Because if there was a bunch of evidence, we'd already know it existed.
Okay.
So anyway, I just find that it's do you think that there's a possibility of these things that we just don't
Oh,
even know
man.
about yet? Do you even, or do you just dismiss it all as it's just bullshit?
I don't know. I like the idea of Loch Ness. I mean, I think that's kind of fun because it's like this Scottish. It's just in this one lake, this one really weird, cold, dark lake in Scotland.
A
And,
huge freshwater lake.
yeah, and it's like 23 miles long or something crazy like that,
Yeah.
which I didn't know. I looked at an image of it today. That's what I was going to get to, because on Google today there's like a cute little drawing of little aliens like turning a machine, and then the top of the machine is Loch Ness's head
Yes.
coming out of the lake, or whatever her name is, Nessie coming out of
yep.
Loch Ness. So anyway, I think it's kind of fun. I've never been that into it. Like every once in a while I'll go like on a UFO or Bigfoot reading binge on the internet, but I don't know. I can't take it that seriously.
Okay, so you are open-minded to the fact that there could
Sure.
be aliens and there could be life forms that we still
Totally.
haven't found, right? I mean, we literally are
Absolutely.
still finding new species every day. I mean, that
Totally.
still does happen. And I just one more tangent. On Netflix, I recently saw TED Talks about the oceans. Have
Oh,
you noticed
yeah.
this new series of TED Talks?
No.
The first one was
That's
just this
cool.
guy talking about. He's like, we know more about the moon and Mars than we do about our own planet.
It's
And that's
crazy.
the majority of our own planet, because we're covered by 70% is the ocean. And he talks about just these mountain ranges we've discovered that are higher than Mount Everest. And I've known about that, in the Mid-Atlantic Ridge and all that. But he's like, there's so much we need to go find, and we have it right here. And the budget for this exploration is like a penny to the dollar on NASA's budget, if that.
Totally.
If that.
And then NASA's at the penny to the dollar on wars.
Well, exactly. So if we could
On the
really put these
military.
resources to, I mean, and think about that too. I mean, I think there's something in us as human beings where getting outside of Earth is just so fascinating that I can see why we push toward that so quickly.
Yeah.
But it's also like, hold on, let's see what we got here at
Well,
home.
I think both in their own way have equal weight for our understanding of how things work here. I mean, I
True.
think if we were to find something on Mars that was, like life on Mars, that would give us a good indication of how things work here as well.
Well, and I
So I
think
think they're equally important, but I agree it's strange to be way out there when we still have a lot to discover here.
Well, and now the part that I hadn't thought of that the guy mentioned was just how like we literally know more about Mars than we do about at the bottom of our ocean.
Yeah.
And we only know a very, very small amount about Mars. I mean, that's in recent years is when we finally even just got there.
We still haven't figured out if there had been life at some point,
right,
some
we're still
sort of
working on
organism.
that. Exactly.
Okay, I did find an article though about Bigfoot. So Bigfoot is also known as Sasquatch in North America. Yep. In Tibet, his name is Yeti, and in Australia, his name is Yowie.
Okay. Tibet specifically, interesting.
Yeah.
So the Tibetans
such as Yeti of Tibet. I think that's why he's always covered in snow. Like he's white there.
Sure. He's
He's
like the
kinda shaggy
abominable
and white.
snowman there.
Mhm.
Interesting. See, and that's what. Now, I do believe, and I think we've kind of touched on this in the show before.
I like how they have a picture with the caption Bigfoot. Like there he is.
In case you were wondering what he looks like, there he is, as if he for sure exists.
Because he's real, definitely.
Well, I do have to. Is that the one from the? Oh God, yes, the most famous picture of him
it's
ever.
the famous one. And then
The guy in the ape suit. Yeah. Oh my God, that's hilarious. But I just now. So I do believe that in a collective consciousness, and you have an idea in Japan, and somebody else in California also has a similar idea. Technology wise, especially.
Sure.
So there could be kind of mythological ideas that maybe start the same way or spread the same way. But I don't know. This is one of those things where I absolutely I will never rule out until. Actually, I wouldn't know how you would even rule this out. But just the fact that so many people believe in it just fascinates me. I think it's very interesting.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's fine if people believe in it, because sure, it's a possibility that there's some weird large animal out there that we haven't discovered. But it's when people devote their lives to it.
That scares me.
Run the Yeti Organization of America. It's like, man, really? You're gonna? All right. I don't know how that's helping us at all, but
well, what is that? What are they? Is it something in their childhood? Like, did something traumatizing happen to these people that devote themselves? Well, shit. I mean, you could say this about religious fanatics, I guess, just as much as you could about anybody. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all faith. It's literally just faith.
Yeah.
You have nothing to really base any of this on. I mean, again, we've talked about there were animals that could have been something like this, so there is a little bit of scientific basis to it, but there's literally never been a bone. There's literally never been a tooth. I mean, there's nothing. It's
the same love for conspiracy theories.
And that's what I see. What I love about it. I find it's very interesting. But again, you don't have to go too far with it.
I think people want to just discover something. I think they want to be the one to find it and to say it happened. And
the first. We like to be the first.
Yeah, I'm sure it's easy to get obsessed with an idea like that.
There is something about that. Yeah. Okay. Really weird segue, but I want to go into Full House now. Tell me why this one struck you. Well, of all the remakes, and everything is being remade. Everything. Mad Max is coming out in 2 weeks. Fucking Mad Max. I mean,
at least it looks fair.
It could be good.
At least it looks okay.
It could be good. Yes,
and I like Tom Hardy.
God, I'd love a new idea. And I love Tom Hardy too. But Full House. Why does this one strike you?
Jason,
and for those that don't know, Full House is coming back to Netflix.
We didn't even get to the point of our last story.
Oh, what?
We got to talk about it. Just FYI, you can go on Google Maps now and you can watch Loch Ness for Nessie. You can through Google Maps, you can go under the water, and they've teamed up with researchers or people that work on the lake, whatever they're called there, and you can look for Nessie.
That's so weird. It's so
so
weird.
That's
but
why.
Yes, that was why this came out in the first place.
That's why Google has the cool little alien churning the machine today with Nessie's head on it.
What a weird.
It's really funny.
Thing.
Did you go to Google and look at it?
I did check it out. Yeah.
It's kind of cute.
It's so weird. It's weird. It's cool,
funny, though.
But it's weird.
But anyway, that's the point. But
yeah.
Full House. So it's been confirmed that Netflix is bringing a reunion of sorts, 13 episode sequel called Fuller House.
Very creative.
And John Stamos confirmed it.
Oh, on Kimmel it looks like, actually. Yeah.
Yep, on Jimmy Kimmel. So this is what bothers me so much about this. Not because Full House, first of all, is a shitty show to begin with. Like, I liked that show was like fun when I was 8.
Yes, when I was a little kid, I enjoyed it.
You know?
But I can't imagine as an adult going back and wanting to watch a single second of it.
Why would you ever be entertained by that? It's weird. And so people now are getting, especially my generation, like the 90s kids, you know, we're obsessed with bringing back shitty things from the 90s and even shittier, you know, revivals of stuff. And it's like, are you
Give me another
fucking
example
kidding?
of what you're talking about from the 90s that
So,
sucks.
like, people will go and they'll Photoshop, like, Hocus Pocus, the movie poster.
That
it'll
is
be
my
like
friend
Hocus-
Shelby's favorite movie
Okay.
of all
So,
time. which is
Hocus
weird to me.
Pocus Returns, right? Like, Hocus Pocus is a fun movie to watch on Halloween, whatever.
Right. That's all it is.
Sure.
Right? It's a Halloween
Sure,
movie.
have
You
it on
watch
in the
it like the week before
background.
Halloween. That's
Right,
it. Yeah.
right. It's kind of funny. Then some fan will go and they will Photoshop the Hocus Pocus poster. So it's like Hocus Pocus Returns this October 2016 or whatever. And then it's them in kind of slightly different costumes that they've totally Photoshopped. And then someone posts it to the fucking internet and then someone else believes it. And then it goes viral on Facebook. And people start freaking out. They're like, oh my God, Hocus Pocus is coming back. And it becomes this massive, you know, and I'm finally like, do you even know where that shit came from, first of all? Like now, you know, we've had Stamos on Kimmel saying this
Yeah.
is happening.
And
So
these
we know
rumors
what's
have
happening.
been pretty much said to be real over the last couple of weeks.
Sure.
I mean, once you say Netflix has got a deal, now it's pretty much real.
But why do you want that stuff to return? Why do you want it to return? It was never a good show. Some of these movies aren't that good. They're cute classics. We don't need another one in 2016. We don't need another Full House. We don't need another Hocus Pocus. We don't need another Boy Meets World, which actually did happen.
Yeah, it did.
We don't need this shit.
Well, I think it's a lot like Star Wars, actually, in that you and we talked
At
about it
least
last week.
Star Wars has a fuller. Okay, can I read to you what Fuller House is about?
Yeah. Then I got to get to the Star Wars thing, though.
The revival series will focus on Candace Cameron Burr's character, DJ Tanner. Fuck. This is so fucking painful. Who is recently widowed and pregnant,
Oh, Jesus.
and she's a veterinarian. She's a pregnant veterinarian because, sure, and let's not to mention her father, Danny, on the show was also a widower. Her
Oh,
younger
that's right.
sister and aspiring musician, Stephanie Tanner, Jodie Sweetin, and her childhood best friend, Kimmy Gibbler, Andrea Barber, most annoying character on there.
On TV in the 90s, maybe.
Right. Along with Gibby's feisty teenage daughter, Ramona, move in to help DJ raise her 2 sons, rebellious 12-year-old JD and neurotic
Shut up.
Neurotic
Shut up. They did
7-year-old
not. No, they didn't.
and neurotic
They didn't.
7-year-old Max and soon to arrive baby.
So DJ named her kid JD.
And I'm sure
She's a veterinarian who happened to have the exact same thing happen to her as her father, and she
Exact
loses
same
a
thing.
spouse.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And there is probably going to be guest appearances by John Stamos, as well as what's his face who played
We'll have to
Danny?
have Bob Saget.
Bob
yeah,
Saget.
Yeah.
How could I forget him?
Okay, hold on. I would watch this show if Bob Saget came into the scene as if he's doing stand-up.
'Cause
So he's
he's
like,
so
fuck this, fuck
fucking
that. Just
raunchy.
yeah, like if he would go into his
'Cause it's
actual
Netflix.
stand-up thing, that would be funny to me. But he'd be like surrounded 12-year-old kids, which I don't want. But
You get the 3 least talented people on the show. Fucking Jodie Sweetin, Candace Cameron Burr, and Kimmy Gibbler.
Well-
They're the worst actresses on the show and the least enjoyable characters, and you have the 3 of them going with the encore.
this is Kirk Cameron, right? Is he on? No. What show? What was Kirk Cameron on? Or is this that show?
No, different show.
What's-
Kirk Cameron was on like
Same type of show though, right?
Yeah, it
Another
was the 90s sitcom.
family sitcom thing. I'm trying to think of I mean,
like
Stamos obviously has continued a career. Bob Saget has continued a career. What's the other guy's name? What did he
Dave
do?
Coulier.
He didn't really do anything else, did he? He's still probably loaded just off syndication.
Probably.
But yeah, I mean, why else? What? why else would any of those guys risk their reputation for this? I guess all you're going to get is the second tier
Mary
people.
Kate and Ashley Olsen want anything to fucking do with this? They're the most successful of the whole crew.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're the only ones that truly like went on to be. They got bigger.
Well, John
after it.
Stamos, I think, has had a really successful career.
Yeah, I guess. But I wouldn't say he got bigger than like what role did he ever have in another movie or anything where it was bigger than that?
Wasn't he on that ABC? Some of the ABC sitcoms and
oh yeah,
he's not. He's the Oikos guy, Jason.
He's the what?
He's the Oikos guy. he's the rep for Dan and Oikos, the Greek yogurt.
Yeah, that's where his career. See, but he's still too good. Like he's only going to make cameos, right? Even he's still too good for this. He's the yogurt guy.
He's going to be on a guest appearance.
Oh my God, I can't take it. But okay, so let me just. So I was reading about Star Wars today, though, and just about how we. Okay, we talked about this last week. You and I are really excited for this new movie that's coming out in December. We've seen like 2 things that are new to us. You know, we saw that cool lightsaber in the first preview, and then in the last preview was more. You know, it was like Han Solo. We saw him and Chewie, so that was cool. It was nostalgia, but we haven't really seen a whole lot that's new. We know nothing about the story. For all we know, it could be as bad as the Phantom Menace. It could completely bomb. It's actually probably more likely to bomb since the last 3 were not that good. But yet we still just got it. And I will be there on Christmas. I will see it opening day.
Absolutely.
I'm so pumped. So what I'm getting at is I think that especially the people like your generation and I think my generation are big Full House generation. Like we grew up watching that show.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like why you like music that you listen to when you're 14 too. It just brings you back to that a bit. It's not even necessarily about the future of like I don't think anyone's looking at this going, this show is going to be fantastic. I think they're going, this makes me think of my times when I was 12. Like it gives you a fuzzy feeling inside.
Okay, fine.
Which I think is it's working. They're getting people on that.
Then do the thing that they just did on Jimmy Fallon and bring back the whole Saved by the Bell cast. For a skit. You know what I mean? Like, do something like that.
Although that sucked, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it wasn't good.
But it only lasted for 5 minutes.
Yes. They made it nice and short and sweet.
And
yes. Not a season out of it.
Netflix, they're known for good shows. I mean, House of Cards is good. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt was really funny. You get a shitty fucking show. I'm like,
does that make you maybe have hope for it, though? Maybe they actually did somehow come up with good writing for it? Maybe that was the only way. Even they were like, "How do we remake this stupid show? We have to actually make it good." I mean, because I agree, Netflix is making good stuff.
It has to be a different show with a different feeling, with a different comedy.
Right. I think it's got to be darker. Probably it can't just be that lighthearted ABC family type shit.
But how do you pull that off? You know, with the same nostalgia that people want out of the Full House,
and with that premise. I mean, the premise is it's kind of the same family, just the next generation, mom, not dad. Kids. I mean, it's just
and Kimmy Gibbler isn't going to be funny anymore when she's 37 with that obnoxious voice.
Oh, they're gonna try to do that again too. They're gonna try to reprise that character.
And I'll probably watch it for the first episode too, just to see how it is.
You and 50 million other Americans. God, we're messed up. All right, let's take our first break. We'll come back. We got so much more to get to tonight on the Minnesota Pubcast.
Join longtime radio personality and producer Kelly Guest and friend, CEO of Fantasy Gifts, Colleen Bertino, as they talk about all things sex, men, women. Lend them your ears and learn everything you wanted to know about sex and intimacy. Only here on the Alive and Social Network.
Reach for this one.
Just when you thought it was safe to go back online.
Just turn it on. That took a very PG direction.
Along comes this hit show.
I'm constantly burping on stage.
Hey, you heard about Madonna, right?
Twin Cities hit show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck.
Had she fallen to the ground and her eyes rolled into the back of her head, what would you, Tim Mahoney, have done?
I'd have tried to make out with her.
Nice. Get in line.
The Twin Cities hit show with Rusty, Courtney, and Chuck airs live daily, 9:30 to 10:30 on the Alive and Social Network.
Ever swallowed a bug or choke like Courtney on stage?
Yeah. I meant to do this.
All right, let's talk some beer. Unless you had more on Fuller House.
What are you drinking? No, I'm not. I think we know my opinion of Full House.
I think we got it out.
Fuller House, excuse me.
Fuller House.
Ugh. I wonder if it's going to still be in San Francisco and, she's a veterinarian and a $5 million Victorian and
it's going to
Haight
be
Ashbury.
It's going to be so bad. Right now I'm drinking that 3rd Street. I think this. What is this?
Can I try a sip of it?
Is it the Spotlight? I feel like it's different. It's a pale ale. I don't know. It's good stuff though. I've been drinking the 3rd Street rye IPA lately, actually, too. The Spotlight IPA, which is really good. That might be it, actually.
That's got an oranginess to it.
Yeah, it's got a little citrus.
Got a little citrus notes
with the hop. Yeah. Okay, 2 stories today that I saw about beer. Well, let's start. One is and I asked the question on our little cheat sheet thing or whatever, but is it cheating? Is it bad? Is it awful? Or is it great? Great. What the heck? Did you hear that?
I think it was a crotch rocket.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. It sounded like a motorcycle. Stop. That threw me off. Okay. So there's a new tea bag, apparently, basically. It's the same concept as a tea bag.
Yeah.
That where you put in things like hops and same things like you just tasted, things that would give you citrus notes in a beer. And you take it and you throw in your Miller Lite, and a minute later or 2 minutes later, it tastes like a real beer. Like, for instance, there's even a packet that makes it taste like an IPA. I would imagine there's all different flavors. I can't figure out if I like this or not. I think I'm upset because it's cheating, I think.
Well, okay. I don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, first of all. I think if you get one of these things and you're an avid beer drinker, you're going to see some huge differences in your beer.
Okay.
I think it's going to be the equivalent of squeezing a lime into a Corona. It turns it from piss water to something that's I actually enjoy this in a hot summer day because the lime. Most half the Corona you can only taste the lime, which is great, and then you get the bottom of the Corona, and I never finish a Corona. Do you? Because I always get to the end, and then I'm like, boop. Ooh,
well, it's usually warm by that time, I think, too, because you are drinking it in the sun, usually. I don't drink a whole lot of Corona, at the bar at night.
Right.
It's usually a summer in the sun on the beach, kind of.
Sure.
But the thing about Corona is I could drink that for breakfast. To me, there's no flavor to it. And again, you put the little lime juice in there, like you said. It's juice to me. But I also can drink 12 of them and not feel an effect. I don't know what it is about Corona, but I can't get drunk off of it.
I've never tried to get drunk off Corona before.
Don't. It's just a headache. But no, I think the thing about this is it's marketed toward beer snobs too. I'm pretty sure this is for people like me who like to consider themselves a bit of a snob and would like to also be able to take this and go, nope, not good enough. So I'm wondering maybe they do have something here where you're really going to go. But the thing is too, it's like buying a new car or something too, where it's buying a Porsche. You're not just buying that because Porsche makes really good engines. You're buying it because it also says Porsche on the outside, and you're buying it because it is $70,000, $100,000. If you're going to buy a 6-pack of Miller Lite and then turn it into good beer, what are you even doing there? Are you really just that cheap, or what are you going for?
It's probably a good idea, as an on-the-go thing. I have to go. I'm going to this kegger. No, no one really goes to kegger, but sometimes people go to keggers. I've been to places where you really only have a couple options for beer.
Sure. A wedding, even if you just have
sure
only 2 beer options. There's a lot of beers like that, or the free beer at least, right?
Drop in a little beer bag, whatever we're calling these, beer tablet, beer bag.
Sure.
And makes it taste better. Great, but I think the process of picking out a craft beer and trying a new craft beer, you're going to still see the difference, and the experience is lost with these beer bags. And I think you've said before, you like going to the liquor store and shopping for new beers.
Yes, there's a part. The perusing is part of the whole the discovery process.
Right, and that is, I think, kind of a universal thing for people who really truly do enjoy good beer.
I think you're right though, because yes, this would satisfy the beer snob in that emergency situation.
Yeah,
where you really just don't have another choice.
Thing.
Yeah,
make it like a beer bag on the go.
And you're right. That's probably what they are doing. I haven't seen the marketing campaign. It was just this one article. But,
right.
All right. So sticking on the beer news then, though. So have you had Spotted Cow before, or are you aware of Spotted Cow?
I have had Spotted Cow.
Now, and you're aware of there's a bit of a hype around that beer, right?
There's
people are weird about it.
Huge hype around it.
Yes.
And I think I think we like to pretend in Minnesota that we don't love it but we do. Like, we'll have our friends that are going back to Wisconsin for the weekend, or we'll go across the border and pick up a 6-pack of it. They're like, yeah, could you pick me up some Spotted Cow? It's a good beer. I really enjoy that beer.
Speaking of 3rd Street, their cream ale. It's
pretty close.
You tell me that's
Pretty
not
close.
damn near the same beer.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's not a knock. I mean, that's
Right.
them being smart. That's going, hey, there's this beer next door to us that's really good and it sells like hotcakes. Let's make something, like it.
Yep.
But so, okay, for those that don't know why we're talking about this, a bar up in, what was it, Maple Grove?
Maple Grove.
I don't even, and I'm not even going to, we don't need to name the bar necessarily. We don't need to give them more bad pub, but this guy, I understand that this beer is popular, and I understand that, and we get, at Moe's where I work, we get questioned about it all the time, ODO Spotted Cow, and I always tell them, no, you cannot get it outside of Wisconsin at wholesale. This guy was driving down to, I don't know, Somerset or something, or not Somerset, but like Prescott or something, and was grabbing 6 kegs. He got 6 kegs over like a month and a half period, which I'm assuming he might have actually just gone and got one at a time and was bringing them back. Now, what are you paying to do that? Because you're not getting them you're getting them at wholesale, but you're not getting them like a restaurant gets them at wholesale. I don't think you're getting them at that same cheap price.
You're probably still paying 100 something, 150, 170.
Well, that's what a normal place pays at retail. So yeah, I guess actually maybe they are. If you go to a wholesaler, you are getting it for the same price that a bar does. But that is why it's illegal to sell to us from
Right.
Wisconsin to Minnesota, and this bar with this is a felony, by the way. But it's because they're transporting alcohol from a different
Yes.
state.
Yeah.
That is highly regulated.
And selling it.
And selling it, right.
Right.
And right, because we can go get a 6-pack, or we can go get a keg for ourselves and have
Sure.
it here, at the Alive and Social Studios, but you can't sell it. In fact, I bet it's technically even illegal to sell a keg cup.
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
every kegger you've ever been to.
Technically,
I'm
I'm
sure
sure
that's
it
probably
is.
illegal.
Yes.
But so these guys got busted, and like I said, felony charge. And I get this is a good beer, but is this worth it? And
No.
and who did this? I mean, it sounds like it was a manager, not the owner. What were you thinking, dude? Like,
People are going to say that restaurant has Spotted Cow. Did you know that? Let's go get some. And people will. I mean, that was probably what he was hoping for, a bit of people knowing that they could go get it there, but also word of mouth. People are going to find out.
That's
dude.
going to go really fast. And yeah, and I think Wisconsin and Spotted Cow, or New Glarus, I believe, is the brewery. I think they're proud to only be Wisconsin. Like, there's something
yeah.
to that. So
Absolutely.
they find out that any bar is selling it, they're going to be all over you, and that's exactly what happened. Sounds like an anonymous phone call basically got this place busted.
Can you get it at a bar in Wisconsin?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah, it's just
So
not distributed to Minnesota wholesale.
Right.
So, like I
Right.
said, you can go get a 6 or whatever. And again, you could in bars just
Or
can't
a big
buy it.
old thing of it. You can
Or-
bring back quite a bit over the
but
border.
you just can't. You just can't sell it in your establishment. So they got busted. That's the beer news this week. That's.
Sucks to be you, man. I don't feel bad at all.
I don't really either. I don't
care. Like if that's what the Spotted Cow New Glarus people want to do with their product, they're allowed to do that. And you can't fucking break the rules.
And I think that maybe they are stupid rules. Maybe you should be able to kind
It's a
of
little
sell stuff
intense,
wherever you
but-
want to. But again, this is a drug. I mean, we're talking about a regulated drug, and it does probably need to be regulated. I mean, I don't think anybody's saying that Colorado, you should be able to just sell weed to all your neighboring states, right? I mean, and again, it's illegal in those states, but it's illegal to sell that beer in Minnesota. So
Yep.
somewhat similar, not very.
I mean, it's a little pretentious of them, but I don't care about that. They're still allowed to do it.
No, that's
They're
cool.
still allowed
yeah.
to say no.
If Surly wants to say only in Minnesota, more power to them.
They're not that
They
big
would
assholes, though.
They would,
but-
well, no, they're capitalists, is what they are. Okay, so this is also on the beer front a little bit. National Record Store Day was on Saturday, and did you know that? First of all,
Yes, I did know
okay,
that.
I had never heard of that.
I usually go to Electric Fetus or
Okay.
something to celebrate a bit and get a couple records.
Have
but-
you heard of Jaime's in
Yeah.
the Longfellow neighborhood?
Yep.
All right, I've never been there either, but I was invited to work a little patio type bar
Mm-hmm.
in the parking lot at the restaurant right next door, which is my friend's restaurant, Peppers and Fries. Very good. Go check it out on Lake Street. But it's
My roommate loves that place. She was there last night.
it's
her
awesome.
favorite.
It's seriously, it's awesome.
It's like it's Mexican food, correct?
Yeah, it's burgers and burritos.
Oh, yum.
And then, I mean, great apps and try the nachos. They're awesome.
So good.
And great beer on tap, all that. So I go there and I have no idea what this is. People are asking me like, why are you working at this? Because that's not my normal job. They're just like, why are you working there? I'm like, I don't even know. There's some beer thing. I didn't even know what National Record Store Day. I had no idea. Get there. There's live music. There's crate upon crate upon crate upon crate of free records out in front of the store or on the side of the store. Tons of people. It ends up becoming like a mini St. Patrick's Day, like in this little square block area. And it made a bunch of money, slanging beers, beautiful weather. It was so fun. It's something that if I don't work it, I will be at for the rest of time. Yeah. But I hope to work it because it's good money and it was fun. It was just cool people. I posted it on Facebook, and then I heard they're talking about this on Corolla today, and it made me feel a little uncomfortable. But I took a picture of a guy who had a really great shirt on. Did you happen to see that post on Facebook?
I don't think so.
Said legalize drugs and murder.
Oh, God.
I just thought that was fantastic. I don't even know why I love it so much, but it was just the greatest shirt. It was such a hipster shirt. It was like the softball, like a white shirt with black sleeves, and just said that on the back. I loved it. Had to get a picture of that. But just cool people, cool hipsters. Record store type people, and for the most part, cool, good tipping people. Fun to be around.
Good. That's
fun.
Oh,
hey, what's up, man? Dubé's in the house.
Jeff Dubé's here.
Yeah, we decided to stop in. I had the night off, so we figured we'd get one in while we could. Dubé stops in just to take a shit.
Good thing I have my headphones on. You can hear everything in that bathroom.
Oh, God. You might want to close the door.
Actually, I am going to close the door.
Yeah, you probably will. All right. Where else can we go with this? I wanted to talk about... okay, no, we have to touch on this. What is with this fucking phenomenon of girls trying to swell their lips? Did you, first of all, before you saw this today on here, have you heard of this and seen this? Is it Kylie Jenner? Is that her name?
Well, this just happened today. I mean, this is
pretty recent.
Your lips is not a new.
No, but the way she's doing it, and apparently teenage girls are all.
I don't know if she's actually. Let's be real. Kylie Jenner isn't sticking her fucking lips in some small space so they get suctioned off. Like, if that bitch is getting anything done, it's either she has a professional makeup artist pumping her lips.
Right, it's costing $10,000.
Or she's getting some really, really good injections at 16 years old.
Jesus, which is just disgusting and sick.
Whatever. You know what? What do you expect from that family though at this point?
Well, no, it's all a mess. But what it hit home for me yesterday because this girl that I work with, this teenage girl, comes in and her whole under her bottom lip is a huge bruise.
And it looks like a hickey.
Yes, it looks like a lip hickey. And it's just so sad. And it's not like this girl is one of those. I mean, and this isn't, I don't care, but there are girls that have very thin lips. And then there are girls that have very pouty lips. I'd say she's in between, if anything, or toward the pouty side. And she's still doing this to herself. And it's gross. It's kind of self-mutilating a bit. I mean, you're literally bruising your lips in order to get them to be bigger. I mean, that's what it is.
You're cutting off the circulation.
It's for what? So a guy goes nice lips? I don't understand. I don't understand young people, I think is my problem.
You know what? They heard that Kylie Jenner does this, which she doesn't. PSA out there for the 15-year-olds that listen to us. But come on.
Stop listening, by the way. First of all, stop listening right now. I'm telling your parents.
There's probably nothing even interesting on here for them. Let's be real.
Just the cursing itself. I don't need to hear that. No,
I hope that we don't. I hope that 15-year-olds don't like us.
You mean that they wouldn't be interested?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Like if we're appealing to them, it's an issue.
We need to skew our demographics up a bit if that is the case. Yes, and I don't mind.
I'm whispering
at least 18
like they're
and
here, like they can't hear us. 15-year-olds have pretty bad hearing.
If you whisper on a podcast, it's harder to hear. They can't turn you up. So anyway, yeah, fucking teenage girls are nuts.
Stop it.
This just in. Teenage girls are nuts.
You're beautiful as you are. You're beautiful as you are.
Isn't that a song?
Yeah, it's a Christina Aguilera song.
No, isn't that like a bad Maroon 5 or something too, or something? No, you're right. No, it's just the
It's Christina Aguilera, and it's James Blunt. Okay. You're beautiful.
Yep.
You're beautiful.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's the guy.
Yeah, it's got the high voice, kind of like Adam Levine.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I wasn't totally crazy there.
No. Speaking of television and ladies, though.
Oh my God! There you go.
Have you been watching? I just wrote. my friend asked, "What should I watch on Netflix?" And I wrote, "You Breakable, Kimmy Schmidt." Unbreakable. Come on.
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. You love that one?
I do. I liked
love
it.
I can't get into
I
it.
thought it was quirky and funny and,
It's
and weird.
you know what it is though.
It wasn't like my favorite of all time, but I thought it was.
That,
I laughed.
It's that Tina Fey humor. It's some people love it and other people. Because I get that it's funny. Like I'm not saying it's not funny. I just don't love it. Like I just can't. Sure. It's just not my style. It's like The Office. I'm not into The Office, but I get why people like it.
Well, and it's kind of the same thing as 30 Rock. Like lots of pop culture references, lots of making fun of pop culture, making fun of stereotypes, whether it's Asian, black, gay, women, whatever. Exactly. It's a big commentary. But another great show with a lot of commentary, Inside Amy Schumer, which has been on for a while, but I've been getting really into her lately ever since I've been seeing more of like her stand up.
I saw her on Ellen.
Yes.
I saw that clip from Ellen. I don't even know how I saw that, but it was hilarious.
So funny,
She's
right?
Fucking hilarious.
She's so funny, and she has so many great clips about like women not being able to take compliments. Like we don't just say thank you.
Yes.
So the whole thing is like, a friend will say it, she'll be like, "Oh my God, you look so great." And she's like, "Oh my God, I look like an Arabian rug salesman." She'll be like, "I look like a cow. Indian people are trying to bow down to me." And it's so true because women cannot take a compliment.
Right. And I like too that she's dirty. If you listen to her stand up, she's very dirty,
and she's
but
not
she
PC.
can be clean and funny.
She can be.
She can go on Ellen and still be funny. That says something to me.
Yes.
And that's like Louis. Like Louis C.K. can go on a late night television show and not swear and still be hilarious.
They do the gamut. They run the gamut of everything.
Well, they're just really smart. To me, like she's just really smart, so she can. Because to me, being vulgar doesn't necessarily mean it's like a crutch or it's like filler or you're just trying to get attention. Sometimes being vulgar is in the right way is smarter than not. You know what I mean? Or and vice versa. Sometimes you can just be really smart and take the vulgarity out, and it's still just as funny.
Right. And some people are just
straight
up dirty. But I would say Louis and Amy are on the same page where they're both not PC when they need to be. And but they do commentary in the right way with vulgarity.
Yes.
Which I really, 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 really appreciate.
I agree.
So Amy Schumer, great person to look out for. Her and Natasha Leggero, another great female comedian that's not PC at all.
Well, okay. Here's a segue for me.
Yeah,
this is still on the Netflix front. So I've mentioned Daredevil on here, and I said that I liked it's going dark, and I appreciate what it's trying to do with a comic book character. Netflix is doing what you should be doing, but then I found this article, and it describes me to a T. And the term they used was, it's plot committed. Like, do you know if you ever play poker? You know what pot committed means? Like you've already got $100 in the pot, so what's another $10 bet?
Sure.
Like screw it, I'll call it.
Sure.
Same kind of thing. He's like, well, I'm 8 episodes in. There's 5 left. Kind of plot committed. Like, do you just give up now, right in the middle of it, or do you just see what it develops into? And it's like it's a good show. It's good, but it's not great, and it doesn't seem to have that potential of where you're just like Game of Thrones. Still, even this year. The whole fucking thing is a build up. It's every season is this build up, and then the last 3 episodes are crazy. I don't see Daredevil like with this huge payoff. Game of Thrones, I'm willing to sit through it because I know it pays off, and I just don't see this. But plot committed, because I've done this with other series too, where you get a certain way and you're like, I gotta finish it.
Sometimes you just have to take. I sometimes just take a couple months off. I know that sounds really weird.
From the show.
From the show.
Okay.
Like I've taken a couple months from The Wire. I'm going to start that up once Game of Thrones is done. But I'm okay with some of that. I'm okay with some shows that are a little slower. Like The Wire has a lot of action, but not like Game of Thrones action.
No, and it's very character developing.
Totally.
I mean, each season they bring in new characters and have to develop them.
I sometimes just take a little bit of a break. Did the same thing with The West Wing. Love The Wire, love West Wing, but you just got to take a break sometimes. If you're not feeling it, you got to take a break and then wait until you're ready if you're back in the mood.
I agree with that.
Because especially if Daredevil is the type of show, no one's talking about it right now. I mean, no offense to Daredevil, but
no, not really. It's not getting a lot of hype. But I mean, this article was I would imagine a relatively good TV blogger talking about this. So it's out there. It's known.
It's out there, but it's not
Netflix
like
only
you're
has
gonna
put out how many series? I mean, it's got to be less than 15, right?
But you're not going to come across like huge spoilers.
No,
like you would with Game of Thrones or House of Cards or even Mad Men.
Let's touch on Game of Thrones real quick. What have you? Are you up to date? Have you seen
I'm
the
up
2
to date.
episodes? What do you think?
Turn it off, guys. If you don't want to hear about it, turn it off.
It's only 2 in. Like I said, still build up, but yeah, don't skip 5 minutes ahead.
Oh, man, what do I think about this season of Game of Thrones? What if we just turn this into a Game of Thrones podcast?
We could do a Game of Thrones podcast one night a week.
Burr, 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 burr. could not talk about Game of Thrones
No, I
for a
couldn't
fucking
either.
hour. Are
And
you serious?
do you realize how many other ones I'm sure there
We
are.
would just be reading the script. Like,
Just
how
read
do
the
they
books.
talk
We
about?
just
How do
read
they
the
talk
books.
about it for an hour?
I don't understand. I don't understand. There's that. There's a Walking Dead podcast too that was Talking Dead. It's just an hour every night. Yeah, they're another really clever name.
Jesus.
But I don't understand.
Have that's just killing people, just slaughter,
Huh?
just
There's
blood.
no plot even to that show.
No.
Actually, not anymore. There was one.
I really liked this last episode of Game of Thrones. It was really fun and exciting.
Seriously?
No, I liked it. I
Okay.
thought it was great. I was really excited to see Arya.
Yes. I think a lot of people were pissed she wasn't even in the first episode.
I think the Khaleesi storyline is getting more interesting. I was a little worried for a while. I was kind of like, well, this girl is just sitting on a fucking throne.
Not
People
really ever doing anything.
just doing, essentially doing her jury duty.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's like, to speed it along, because I loved Khaleesi before. I do love Khaleesi, or Misa or Daenerys Targaryen, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see some of the partnerships that are coming up.
Yes.
with
Like her and
her and
why can't we-
Tyrion.
Tyrion, yes. Tyrion
And
Lannister.
I'm excited to see Bronn and Jaime Lannister go off to where the Martell
To
family
get the
is
daughter.
from.
Yep.
I think that'll be interesting because I wanted more Bronn. I love Bronn. Like, him and Tyrion together were incredible.
Well, and I love yes.
And
Oh
him
my
and
God,
Jaime
yes.
him and Jaime will be just as funny.
And I love the new. Well, the not new. He probably was the ruling prince, but or was he the brother now? Is that
The
took
brother
over?
is now the king.
Was he before? He seems like he's older anyway. Was he the one that would have been in charge, and the one that was killed last season was just his brother and was just a prince? Does that sound right?
No, King Joffrey was killed, and his little brother is now.
No. I'm talking about
Oberyn.
Oberyn.
Martell?
Yes,
I thought you were talking about
he was a
Lannisters.
prince. Was his brother king when he came into the show? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Or what?
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
think
Oberyn was
his-
never the ruler of his country. He was
No.
in line to be.
He was the prince.
Okay.
He was like Prince Harry.
Because I find it, I think it's so cool that first of all they show that flashback where he tells, who is it? He tells somebody where it's like we don't hurt little girls. She'll be safe there.
Yes.
And this is before there would have been any vengeance to
And his
be
brother
had.
feels the same way.
And then his brother's like, we're not going to mutilate a little girl. Like, what the fuck is
And that
wrong with
bitch
you?
is ready for
And
vengeance.
she's ready to fucking cut her off one finger at a time, like she said. She wants to mail her body back to her mom.
She's
And-
she's ready to fuck some shit up.
And I love that. I love this whole storyline. She's gonna, she's gonna
Fuck
kill
some
that
shit
guy
up.
and take over,
Fuck
and it's gonna get.
some shit up.
But I do have a problem with this show. It's seriously, it takes 8 episodes of build up every season. And maybe that's just kind of how it works because it maybe because it's based on books too. But I wish they could do a little. I don't know how you do it, but I wish they could do a little bit more earlier in the season, just to have a little more happen. But it just seems like it's just all underlying.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were gonna go into the house of White and Black or whatever that's called.
The Faceless. Do you know about the Faceless?
It's just I don't know anything yet.
That's what he is. I
Yeah,
just
no,
found that
yes,
out.
he's incredible, and I'm
He's so
so
good.
excited to see him again too. But I thought we were gonna follow Arya in there, and then the
And
door
then, of
just
course,
closes,
the
and I was
episode
like,
just
"Well,
ends.
shit."
That's how it. And I like
maybe
that about
we'll
it.
see her next week. Maybe we
Maybe
won't.
not for
Maybe
it could be 5 weeks before we see her again, which
Probably
drives
not,
you
though.
nuts. No,
People love her.
But I do. It is cool though that every time that show ends, you go, I need 5 more
What?
minutes. Yeah, and that's got to be hard to do every single week. I mean, to keep you really on the edge of your seat, going, I need
yeah.
next week's.
Especially with so many characters, and you don't want to jump too far ahead with one character because all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait. There has to be kind of
Like a joined arc.
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. There has to be an arc.
And they all have to be on the same one, yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, it's so hard to do. It's so well done. People, if you're not watching Game of Thrones, Jesus, where have you been? Okay, last thing, then we'll take our last break on the TV/movie front. But we talked about this last week too, the Superman versus Batman, or Batman versus Superman. And I read today now that, so we were kind of trying to figure out the villain, who'd be the villain, why the villain, whatever that would be. And it sounds like Superman's the villain because A, he's an alien, and B, because he is super powerful. So that's why the people like Batman, because he's just a dude, and
He's
so it's
just
a
a
little,
guy.
it's just a little anti like illegal alien, not just literally alien. I think it's just kind of showing that sentiment in human beings, and then it's also showing that he's kind of like the man, like he represents power and just kind of like perfection, and nobody can really attain him, so everybody kind of hates him, which I think is a really interesting angle to go down with this. And apparently the comic books have done this. That's kind of what they're following.
Okay.
But it just I was wondering where they were going, and it sounds like they do have a cool little dark plot to take you down. I still do believe though, of course this is what's going to happen, but they will join teams at the end, and they will start the Justice League, and we will watch 17 sequels of this. I know. I'm really going out on a limb with that prediction. All right, last break. We've only got a couple minutes left because I know you got to get out of here. We'll be right back, finish up the Minnesota Pubcast.
Legendary Minneapolis-St. Paul sports radio personality Jeff Dubé's energetic sports talk jumps right into the nitty-gritty local sports details you're looking for. No one else is delivering you sports news, current events, and guests with Dubé's gusto. Join him live at any of his bar perches or live streaming Monday through Wednesday only on the Alive and Social Network. Just go to JeffDubéShow.com. With Suhan Unfiltered, sports columnist for the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, Jim Suhan presents in-depth conversations with the best writers and sports personalities in the area. Suhan brings professional journalism flavor without the verbal censoring. Find out what unfiltered really means. Only on the Alive and Social Network. SuhanUnfiltered.com. The term foodie can sometimes come across as a tickle pretentious. BT and Lydia are here to demystify the term and reclaim it for the sake of good food. Their weekly podcast brings in fellow foodies and culture creators from the Twin Cities to talk about all things food. Find this duo only on the Alive and Social Network.
Minnesota Pubcast.
Oh, I thought I was going to introduce it back.
Sorry, go for it.
Oh, God. Minnesota Pubcast.
Well, let me get some music out so you don't get in trouble for copyright.
Get it off. Turn it off.
I hate that. Anyway. What do we... Oh, yeah. Let's talk about Benjamin Button.
Oh, my God. Benjamin
Or
Button.
Shirley Button, in this case. I don't know where I came up with Shirley.
Shirley
Beatrice Button. I don't know.
Shirley Button.
Shirley Button. Tell me about her.
I don't even know her name.
I don't either. I don't think it really matters
Look
to
at
the story, though. I
look
don't think
at-
anybody's going to care about that.
This, okay, wait, can I show you this picture on
Okay.
Instagram? It's an advertisement for a watch, and it looks like this guy's little bit of his wiener is sticking out of his corduroys, and they did not mean to, it, like his hand tucked in his, okay,
Oh, Jesus.
isn't that bad?
Yes, that's very bad.
Did anyone else notice that, or am I the only one with a sick
You
mind?
might, well, are there any comments?
Love this. Oh, hashtag penis wisdom.
There you go. You're not the only one. I had a feeling you weren't the only one.
Thank God. At someone commented at that looks like a dick.
No, that is a thing.
Oh,
That's an Instagram account.
oh fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there's everything in the world that looks like a dick is on there. I've seen
Ew, this
references
person's
to it.
tongue looks like a dick.
No.
Little kid with braces. Yeah.
Oh, I'm traumatized. Oh, fuck. Do not go on that Instagram, anyone. Oh my God. Can we talk about the fucking Shirley Button? Yuck. I've seen that one. Yeah, that one's actually funny.
That is hilarious.
How does she put that shirt on and not
this
notice
is,
that?
This is a fantastic Instagram account.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. Don't anyone go on there.
Wow, there's a lot of shit on here. There's a lot of stuff that looks like this is bringing me back to Superbad.
Everything looks like a dick.
Man, I
okay?
should watch Superbad. I missed that movie. I haven't watched Superbad for years.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you hadn't, like you missed it, like
no,
you never
no,
saw it. Yeah, you
I
better have.
miss it. I mentally miss it.
I love Superbad until the cops come in, actually. Until the maker of the movie and the dude from Saturday Night Live come in. And I'm sick of it.
Okay.
So Naomi Jacobs is her name.
Okay.
She's
She,
not Shirley Bunn.
Poor Naomi Jacobs. She fell asleep one night and woke up the next day. She was 36 when she fell
32.
asleep. 32 when she fell asleep. And she woke up and thought that she was 15. Like she
thought she was
didn't know
transported
where she
into
was.
the future, basically.
Yep,
She
she
big
thought
style.
she was big.
Yep.
And she didn't know where she was. She called her, they had a number in her head that just kept repeating. So she called her friend, which thank God was her friend.
Yeah.
Friend picked up, came over, helped her pick up her son from school, and would explain.
Yeah, she had a what,
everything to her.
12-year-old?
She
Did
had
you
a
already say that?
10-year-old, yep. And she said, this is your son. This is what's happened. And she didn't go to the doctor for 4 days because she was convinced that she was going to go back to sleep and wake back up again and be back
She
in
just thought it was a dream.
1994, whatever it was, when she was 15 years old.
Oh, holy shit.
So she was just convinced that something that she had transported through time, and she saw her face.
18
and
years
yeah,
didn't exist in her head. That's
18
crazy.
years, and it's a real. This is a real medical condition.
Happens to 5 out of every 100,000 people.
Yep, and it's I don't remember it's an amnesia, but I don't remember the exact name of the amnesia. It's probably in the article.
Pull it up, yeah.
But damn, so she went to the doctor.
Transient global amnesia.
Oh, transient
that.
amnesia. That sounds terrifying.
Fuck that.
Which means you just pretty much have completely forgotten.
I'll give you the little description. The disorder, I gave you the numbers, results in sudden loss of memories. Unlike other forms of amnesia, people typically remember who they are and how to do stuff. For example, she could remember her PIN number and how to drive a car, but they forget qualitative memories. These memories return eventually, but not before the traumatic, disorienting experience of feeling like you've traveled through time.
Nope.
Holy shit. That is so
She
fucking scary.
straight up just went to sleep. She went to bed, took a rest, and woke up, and all the shit was gone from her brain.
I can't imagine waking up and thinking I'm still in high school.
Okay,
that would
would
be
you,
so
fun game of would
fucking
you
crazy.
rather? Would you rather have this condition, and you slowly realize that this happened and this is a real medical condition,
And your memories come back, right?
Or would you rather have the very rare condition, I think it's 1 in a million or something, that has insane memory where they remember 25 years back. You give them a day, you give them a time, they know exactly where they were, they know exactly what they were wearing, and it's such an insane memory that they're the memories and the ideas that they have their whole life puts pressure on their head.
Jesus. Their brain's literally growing out of their skull. It's so full of shit.
Well, not literally.
Well, no,
but-
figuratively. Sorry. Did I say literally?
You did.
Jesus. Well, maybe literally. That's the pain.
There's
the
an
brain growing against
actress.
the skull.
There is an actress that has this condition, this memory condition, and she can, man, and
I wouldn't
she
want
says
that.
it's so hard because it's like every memory you've ever had is happening as you think of it. So the pain of something happening that was
It's
bad
so
is
strong.
strong. Nothing ever fades. And at first you're like, that's cool. You can remember everything. You don't have to. You look at something once and
You never lose your
experience-
car keys.
and it's sweet, But then you think about how intense that must be. That's an intense life.
I think that it's perfectly natural and very important for your
To
brain
forget.
to let things
It's a
go.
healing process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's minute information that you just don't need. I mean, there's so much stuff out there that we fill our heads with that is just bullshit.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't really want to remember what shirt I was wearing in 1996 on that Friday, July
no.
7th. What the fuck does that do for me?
Nothing. Does nothing.
All right, well, hope we're not ever one of those 5 in 100,000.
See you guys Thursday from O'Gara's Bar and Grill.
See you.